Hi, welcome to Daddykirbs Farm. I thought I'd take an opportunity now. My wife is out taking the kids to Vacation Bible School, and so I thought I'd just kind of give you a quick update of some of the things going on around the farm. I'm standing in the orchard, so I'm going to show you where one of the logs from that large hackberry that I dropped, where it ended up. So I'm going to turn the camera around and take you a walk around the farm. Here's a view of the orchard, and right up here is the large trunk. Doesn't look so large sitting here, but it is the large single trunk of that hackberry tree that I dropped, and it is just part of this long line, this border that I have here for the front side of the orchard. So you can see that here. I thought it fit pretty nice there. The next update in the orchard are see, I have pumpkins that I pushed some pumpkin seeds at the same time that Luke put his pumpkin seeds into the mound up here. I put some seeds in the mounds here, and they're growing pretty well. They have been attacked by vine borers, but right here I want to show you mostly is that my trees are getting some deer damage. You can see their little hoof prints here. And this little tree has been nibbled on. They're doing my summer pruning for me, I guess. That's a plum tree. And this little plum tree has been chewed on pretty good. Or bad, depends on your perspective there, I guess. They seem to like my pear trees pretty well. They keep all the leaves nibbled off of that. I haven't figured out a solution for this yet. So I do have the pressure of deer right now, and the deer are coming from we haven't had deer in the whole 3 years we've lived here, but now we do, and I suspect it's the same reason we have more coyotes now. It's because all the neighborhoods are being built, and all the wildlife are being pushed out of areas that were quite nice habitat for them. So you can see I have some peaches that are coming close. I just ate one. It was kind of firm, but it was still sweet and good. And over here is the only other tree right now that has any fruit on it. And that's my pears. These are the kefir pears. They're still quite firm, so I haven't harvested any of those yet. Alright, I'm going to take you to the garden now and show you what's going on up there. Actually, we're not going to the garden quite yet, because I did tell you I was going to show you some of this vine borer damage. This is the base of one of the pumpkin vines. I haven't had time to manage this. I know there's lots of suggestions on what to do. I just haven't had the time. So once again, I lose my pumpkins. I haven't ever had a successful pumpkin harvest because of these vine borers. On our way to the garden, we can say hello to the chickens and the goats. Hi guys. They like it when I walk by because normally I throw them some treats. This little pile in here, that's some of the hackberry branches that came down from that tree. I threw them in there, and the goats stripped all the leaves off of it. And then I will put a fire in there like I have in the past to make them a pile of ashes to roll around in, because they enjoy that and it helps with the parasites. And then we're gonna head on over here to the garden. There's some silkies in the yard. That container there, that's a baby pool that we keep filled with water, and the ducks will go use it, and then we'll utilize the duck water on our plants. Here's a compost pile that I've been managing. I made a little mistake with this one. I used chicken bits in the middle of it, like from butchered chickens. That worked fine in the large pile, but this one was too small, and I think I used too much. That pile did stink for a while. Alright, we are directly inside the garden, right inside the garden gate. And right off the bat here are some buckets that I've been working on processing. These are coffee grounds that we're getting from the church. they are kind enough to put them in a bucket, and I bring them home so I can put them on the garden. So I have to separate out the filters, which the goats are going to eat, and they love those, and then the grounds will go spread over the whole garden. So this is the first bed. The strawberries are doing okay under this makeshift little tent. They get plenty of filtered light, but enough shade that they're not baking. This bed, back when I made all of these beds and I planted the strawberries, I wasn't really thinking too much about sun and shade and all those things. Now that I'm a little further into the permaculture course and thinking about those things, this bed is actually the worst one for strawberries because it gets the most sun. The evening sun comes in this way. That bed, this one, and this one all get a nice amount of sun all day long, which makes them very hot. The peppers do okay. The tomatoes, some of them do okay. This bed back here, I actually lost my tomatoes already because they were very heat stressed, and I think it might have been partly because there's sweet potatoes growing under there, and they're competing for nutrients. But anyway, the strawberries have produced very little since it's gotten really hot, but the plants are still doing okay. These are my sweet banana peppers, and they are producing quite well. I've already harvested quite a bit off of them, and so now they're coming on with another big batch of peppers for me. This was a tomato bed. The sweet potatoes were volunteer from last season. I didn't plant those, but they came up and I left them. And I think that may have been a mistake in the tomato harvest because I never got a lot of tomatoes out of this bed. And I do believe it's because they were fighting for nutrients. And that's my asparagus. She's kind of holding on, waiting for next year to harvest any. Okay, coming down here at the end, I just yesterday planted in these buckets, what do you call it, not acorn squash, butternut squash, just because we bought a butternut squash, we ate it, and I had plenty of seeds. They dried out for a few days, and I put them in there just to see what would happen. And down here on the end are potatoes, and this bag is a smart pot, and that came from Clayton at Alabama Organic Gardening, and I'll give a link to his channel. I won a contest of his. Thanks, Clayton. Finally got that put to use. Okay, turning around, looking back at the garden gate over here where we came in. This is mostly in this bed. I have a few peppers that haven't done much here, but this is mostly the small cherry tomatoes. They're called Mexico midgets, and they have been very prolific. I already harvested today, so the red ones that you see are the ones I'm leaving for tomorrow because they weren't quite as red as the others. And these seeds came originally to me from Wayne Metter, and he sent me some seeds on a seed exchange early in the season, and I planted way too many of these. Next season I'll probably only do 2 or 3 of these, but I did, I think, 6 of these plants, and they have just been amazing producers. And on the end of that, a couple of peppers that have done really not that well yet, but I'm hoping they do before the season's over. Down here I have one pepper. I've gotten a couple of bell peppers off that, and these are the larger tomatoes here, doing pretty well. Now that they're hot, they're not producing as many red tomatoes, but I think I'll still get some off of it before I have to take the plants out. And down here was one more Mexico midget. So you can see how that is producing. And this has been kind of my hodgepodge bed. I've just been throwing things in it. So we still have a tomato here producing pretty well. It didn't never get caged up very well. I didn't do a very nice trellis or any trellis at all. So it's kind of hanging over itself. That's one thing I have to improve for next year on my tomatoes, is how I trellis them up. My cages that I made and had a video of all ended up in the goat run because I needed some temporary fencing, and they never got back into the garden. So I have a bean plant here that's doing nothing some carrots that will be used as seed carrots for next year. Another hot pepper, and this is a hot pepper. Another little Mexico midget. And then this is the garden bed that Luke helped me plant carrots and flowers in. And I have one little bean plant here that's not doing a whole lot. The hot peppers have done really well. And all those marigolds that Luke took his time spacing out. One plant. But I'm taking seeds off that one plant, and we're going to plant more next season. My borage has done really well until it got real hot. Now it's kind of fallen over, but it was pretty for a while. And this is one of the tomato plants that I bought from Costco. It produced pretty well for a while, and then it just got ugly. So I don't know if that's just heat stress or fungus or what, but it's about ready to come out. This is Luke's bed. I don't want to talk too much about it because I think he'll want to do that. And this is the bed that my daughter claims, and that's mostly Swiss chard and a tomato. And my stone bed here with oregano and basil and parsley, and the cilantro is already gone. I already cut that out. I took some seeds off that. This here is from my neighbor. He called it a true yam. He had a really fancy name for it, but I can't remember. So there will be edible tubers that I get to harvest out of there later this season. And sweet potatoes. And whatever this is, I can't remember the name, but apparently it could be used as a cilantro replacement because it has kind of that pungent flavor. I think it tastes and smells nothing like cilantro, but that's the story. And down here I planted 24 dates. I bought dates and I planted all the seeds, and I got one plant. Oh well, that one plant is pretty exciting. And this, I can't remember what it's called, but it's some sort of a ground nut. So again, there will be edible tubers. You gotta walk around because I tried a string up on the greenhouse. That didn't work out too well. This is kind of my nursery area, so I'm just going to point that out. This is a pecan, my lemons, little aloe down here. That's some sort of a ginger. And I have a ginger back here as well, and a volunteer mulberry growing up in there. I'm going to keep that. I think that's a white mulberry. And this is an oak tree that was a squirrel planted tree. I'm going to try to plant it this winter. These are loquats. Loquat fruit. They do really well in this area. They produce a fruit very early in the season. I don't remember what that is. This is an Osage orange tree. Great for wildlife. And that is my little peach tree start, and it's still doing pretty well. It's not getting very big, but it looks healthy, and it has some natural fertilizer growing around it in the clover. My rosemary, 2 moringa trees. I'm very excited about those. This is a pine nut, and my mint that has already gone. It's done. My tulip tree, and these are my 2 fruit trees that I had in a video. It looks like one made it and one didn't. These are the apple trees. And then here I started the same way, willow trees, and these 2 are alive. This one looks like it's dead. And all of these, I have never planted a peach pit, but I had 9 peach pits, and I thought, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it. So I planted 9 peach pits. And this one, again, I don't remember the name. It was given to me by my neighbor, but apparently it's kind of like the Osage orange, where it's great for wildlife. Mama's rose. And in the long firewood bed that I planted earlier, this actually late in the season, these are summer squash. I planted those late, hoping to avoid the vine borer. We'll see if that works. And these are potatoes that I planted late, and they are just in the last week really looking spindly. And I think there was some pressure from some bugs but also the heat, they're not doing too well. You can see the gray powder. That's the diatomaceous earth that I put around the base. And I'm pretty excited about these two plants. This is amaranth. I've never grown that before, but I put about 100 seeds out here and 2 of them took. And a friend of mine gave me some black-eyed peas because she said that those do really well in the heat. So that's what these are on the back here. I'm just hoping to get something out of those. And one lonely squash down here. This is one of my propagating experiments. I was told by my aunt, actually, who grows berry plants. She has a berry farm. And she said that if a blackberry touches the ground, especially if it's weighted down by like a rock falls on it or a branch falls over it, that it will put roots. So I thought I'd simulate that and see if I can get a plant started here. If that works, I will have a lot of buckets and bricks out here. And that's kind of it. I'll give you another view of the silkies. They like it when I cut the branches of the tomatoes off, and they come and eat all the little tomatoes that were left on there. So, oh, I almost forgot. I have another garden. You see some ducks over here. And this is my original firewood garden. You can see the bed's made out of firewood. And I have over here some spinach. And the name just escaped me. There's a particular kind of spinach. I don't remember what it is. I'll try to put that in a note. And these are cantaloupe that I started a little late in the season, but I'm still hoping to get a little something off of them. And these are makeshift trellises, angled. This is angled this way so it'll capture the sun, give them lots of sun, but also as the fruit grows, it should hang off on this side and I can harvest them from the back. And that's the same for this. This row is a different variety of cantaloupe and not doing quite as well. I don't know if that's position, soil, or just cultivar. Either way, I planted quite a few plants, so hopefully I'll get at least a couple of cantaloupe out of that. I know that was kind of a long update and it was a little shaky. None of it was planned. I had a spare moment and I had a camera in my hand, so I thought I'd shoot this for you so that you can just see how things are on the farm right now. There's lots more to show, but man, I didn't want this to run on forever and ever. So thank you so much for joining me here on the farm. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I would truly love it if you would join me by subscribing, give me a thumbs up, and engage in the comments, and we'll have a conversation. So thanks again. I'll talk to you soon. This is what I got to deal with every time I come out to the garden. This silky rooster thinks he is big stuff. Probably he's mad because his name is Buttercup. It's okay, Buttercup. It's okay.